Hello everyone, welcome to my mini course Lesson 1. In this lesson, I'm going to tell you what is economic growth and the differences between economic growth and economic development. Firstly, we need to know what is economic growth. Economic growth is measured by examining the gross domestic product, GDP. Economic growth means when the market value of goods and services in an economy increases, which is the rise in the real GDP. Effectively, this means a rise in national income, national output, and total expenditure of a country. Now, we want to discover why economists care about economic growth so much. Economic growth can increase unemployment. A stagnant economy leads to a higher rate of unemployment and will cause a lot of social problems. Economic growth can lead to a higher demand for goods and services. Therefore, firms are more likely to hire more people. Reduction in poverty. The increased national output means households can enjoy more goods and services, and further can improve the living standard. There are a lot of great examples in the past that show economic growth is able to lift people out of the state of poverty. Economic growth is particularly significant in developing economies. Improve public services. Higher economic growth leads to a higher tax revenue. With a higher growth, higher incomes, and higher profit, the government will receive more tax revenues. Then the government can spend more on public services. Then we move on to the differences between economic growth and economic development. Firstly, we need to know what is economic development. Economic development implies an increase in economic welfare. Economic welfare comprises many elements other than just income and output. Here are some examples of economic welfare: education standard, healthcare standard, transportation, and infrastructure. Undeniably, economic growth is one feature of economic development, but not the only condition. Here are some key differences between economic growth and economic development. Economic growth is the positive change in real output of a country in a particular period. Economic development involves a rise in the level of production in an economy along with the advancements of technology. Economic growth can be measured when there is an upward movement in national income, but economic development can be seen when there is an upward movement in the real national income. Economic growth can be measured in a particular period, as opposite to economic development is a continuous process so that it can be seen in the long run. Economic growth applies to developed economies to measure the quality of life. In contrast, economic development applies to developing countries to measure progress. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you know more about economic growth. Stay tuned to the next lesson about technology and economic growth.